Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, got a cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milk-shaped wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. You ever go to, every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
You should have never been a fad. The black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
And we got snacks.
Yeah, we do.
Raptor Snacks from Burnt City, District Brew Yards.
Oh yeah, DYB. Sticky, happy, clever. So this is Citra and experimental hops. This is 7%. It's a straight up American IPA.
Just IPA, no frills.
Yeah. It's clear, which is nice.
This just feels like your basic IPA. If you were to give someone this, you'd just be like, this is an IPA.
Yeah. So it's Citra and HBC 630, which I think that's what you assign it a number before they get a name, right?
Right, I think so. I think they figure out if they're going to use it or not. If people are like, yeah, 630 sucks, and then they move on to 631.
Right.
Didn't make the cut. But yeah, it's nice. It's not like overly bitter. It almost feels a little more pale ale-y than IPA, but
yeah. Pretty dangerously approachable for 7. I think of I think of much bolder flavors when I think 7%. So it's easy drinking like a pale ale for sure.
Yeah. I picked this up over at District Brew Yards because that was one of my stops.
Wheeling, Illinois?
Nope, Chicago. I've only been to Wheeling once, and that will probably be my only time.
You're missing out, man. They got 2 water towers in with the old Wheeling.
It's hard to miss that, right? No, it's at the Chicago one. But when you're leaving and you're looking at this giant cooler of beer, it is kind of overwhelming to choose.
Yeah.
Just like when you go into any liquor store, you're like, I don't know what to get. And here you're like, did I have anything that I liked enough to buy while I was in there?
Yeah.
Or is there something I want to try here? And Raptor Snacks was one I didn't try when I was there, but it seemed like a good one for the show. And it was only 7% rather than 15% on some of the stouts.
Are they still rolling? There's 4 breweries?
Yeah. 4.
Okay. So
Around the Bend, Burnt City, Twisted Hippo, and Casa Humilde.
And I think at one point they were making their own food, and now they think Lily Q's, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
The system is kind of silly because you have to get your card for the beer, but you can't use that card to pay for the food because it's a Lily Q. It's not them, so you have to get your card out again and pay that way. So it's it's a separate paying thing.
First time I went to Open Outcry out on Western, they had a little pizza joint in there, and it was the exact same thing. My tab's open at the bar. I can't use that tab to get pizza. I gotta get another tab.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of I feel like the system should work together.
I mean, I'm already here, so just make it all work.
Yeah. I ended up having, I think, a beer from each place. I ended up drinking a bunch of, towards the end of the night, the hop water and the CBD lemonade that Burnt City has.
Okay.
Which I was just like, I had something, a strange one here, a normal pale ale, IPA, and I was just like, I'm good. I don't need any more.
Is it raining?
I think it just started raining.
Oh, wow. It's coming
Storm came in.
It's coming down good. It sounded like something else.
Yeah.
Like something was happening.
So, then I was just like, I rolled the dice on a couple of beers I didn't like, and I was like, I'm just going to drink this hop water.
Yeah. Yeah. They, I think Burnt City is the incumbent brewery. I think they own the joint. And then everyone else is a guest in this rotating band because the one in the city is different from the one in the Wheeling. I think the other brewers are different.
They're all the same except Wheeling has 5.
Okay, that's
Remember
it.
they have like
Some kind of lab, right?
Hop Labs.
I forget their name.
Art
Weren't they?
Histrionic.
Yeah, weren't they? I feel like
I
they.
forgot about that.
I feel like they were at Pilot Project, right? Maybe because I've heard of them
No.
before. I feel like they were a guest somewhere else, and then they became a guest
You
at
might be right. Yeah.
DYB.
Yeah.
Whoa, bless you. Oh man.
But I feel like I love the idea of District Brew Yards and like this food hall kind of idea.
Pour your own damn beer.
You got to change it up, man. I feel like everyone wasn't meant to be there. The Chicago ones now started pre-pandemic, so it's been there for like 6 years.
Oh wow.
Or 5 or 6 years, maybe
Probably.
longer.
It's possible.
And it's the same 4 breweries.
Yeah, I think Brew Yards is like your straightforward American styles, right?
Yeah.
Around the bend, they're like American styles with a little twist.
Yeah.
And then I think Twisted Hippo
It's just a twist.
is kind of similar to Around the Bend.
Bend.
Well, maybe like a more extreme interpretation.
Right.
Where they're using like beets and just all these ingredients that that almost only know them to use in some of these beers.
Yeah.
And then Casamigos is they're Latin inspired.
With a twist.
Yeah. So their twist is going to be towards Latin inspired ingredients.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like they all kind of complement each other.
Kind of, but then they start to feel the same when everyone has like a twist of like Casamigos has one with tangerines. Oh, Twisted Hippo has one with pineapple.
Around the Bend will hit you with like pistachios.
Right. And it's like these are not that they're the same, but they're like
They're all out there. They're all unique and
which I don't know what you do. Like it's not like we're complaining about it, but
it's an
because
observation.
you don't want everybody to have a Vienna lager, which Burnt City's Vienna lager was pretty tasty.
Yeah. I think Bird City kind of brings it all back home. Like, hey, these are straightforward styles that and that's what we do, and that's the end of it. You want something other than this, you got to hit one of these other boys up.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the French toast stout from Around the Bend was pretty tasty. So, yeah, it's fun to go there and try all different beers, but I do feel like the point was, just like with pilot projects, some of these breweries were supposed to, or the idea was you might see these change out.
Well, there's the option, right? I think they've all said the option to have their own space and also be at brew yards. Mm-hmm. It was always in play. They weren't tethered to brew yards. They could go do their own things.
Yeah. But I think we were talking in the pre-show. I would love to see like even Burnt City, because they're the kind of people behind it. They could just launch a Hidden Hands kind of brewery and rebrand it and get some excitement around like, oh, Burnt City's out. We now have, five Cold Time, or I don't know. So, yeah, I couldn't even think of a good name.
You're gonna get a call from. You're gonna get a call from Kenzie.
Like special, like experimental brewery for this month.
Mm-hmm. I think we've seen that with what is it? Who was that? Someone said we're closing our brewery down. We're closing our tap room so we can like give it a refresh.
Okay.
Right. You start to. I think some things just are sitting still. Right. Like you kind of. Well. No. There's still. I guess outside. You mean when you go, even the seasonal releases don't feel like. You're not getting as excited about just the same brewery releasing seasonal beers, right? You're looking at it like, no, I want to come here and see a whole nother brewery.
Even if you did the same beers,
Yeah.
I think you could get like a little influx of people like excited to be like, oh, yeah, let's see what this place got. I used to love this brewery. Oh, they also do this? Like, I don't think most people would know.
Are you saying that Burnt City should buy Metropolitan's IP and just have them as the fifth wall?
There you go.
As a fifth wall? Is that what you're saying?
It's not a bad idea. But maybe that's me. We've been talking about beer for a long time, and we're like, yeah, it's Oktoberfest season. It's Irish Stout season. Irish Red season. I get okay.
So part of it is you, right?
Yeah.
And then part of it is, beer's always seasonal, but it's like it's a double-edged sword. We praise guys like Revolution for dialing in recipes and giving us the same thing all the time because it's good. We praise that. But then on the other hand, like the trend you started of us leaving town was in part because we wanted to try new things from new people. So I mean, that's us. We'll never be happy.
Yeah.
You know,
well, you could go to District Brew Yards in either location and try 4 in Chicago or 5 breweries there, and they should all feel different. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, right?
I hear that. Yeah.
But it's always a good hang.
Yeah. Modern beer hall where you pour your own beer. It's in relation to a nice concentration of other breweries, and it's near the United Center.
Yeah, I did my first pour when I got there. I poured that Vienna lager from around the bend. Not around the bend, Burnt City. 80% foam.
Oh, you fucked up the first pour?
How do I fuck this up? I think the guy doing the tickets or ringing people up saw it and he was like, "Oh, here, let me," and he poured me another one.
Yeah.
But if it's a line that they just changed or something happened or it's been sitting there, it's like, I just got a glass of foam. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So that was cool that he at least saw that because I was a little bitter. When you first get there, your first beer is just like, all right, I can't drink this one night now.
Yeah, right. And I think that was born out of them all brewing at because Burnt City had a space way out south by Chicago State, like 95th and something.
Oh, the J's.
The old potato chip factory, and then they had their friends brewing out there, and then they took that concept and said, hey, let's bring it back closer to where our other brewery was, and now here they are, and now they're in Wheeling. Yeah, and I think there's 2 different systems, so 2 different brewers. The Wheeling guy just does the Wheeling beers, and vice versa. Yeah. Pour your own damn beer, man. You haven't been there in a while.
Yeah. Got Lily Q, but you're often near the Wheeling one more often.
Yeah, for work. Yeah, I'm closer there.
And don't you get 3 food options there? You get barbecue, you get tacos, and something else, like burgers?
Yeah, it's more of a food hall than the city one.
So I feel like that's maybe the other one. I almost stopped at because I walked over to District Brew Yards. I almost stopped at Cruz Blanca. I was like, maybe I'll just get a taco. I don't really want barbecue.
Yeah.
Or then I was like, maybe I'll just stop at Cobra Lounge and get a wrap there.
I like Cobra Lounge's food,
But then I didn't, and I should have because I'm like, Lily Q's good. But I didn't.
You just don't want barbecue.
Right. So it's nice the Wheeling one has different food options.
Yeah. Huh.
So I should have done it for the sake of the show to say I went to 2 places, but I fucked up.
I mean, but you were at a brewery that held 4 breweries too. So. Yeah. Did you aside from what we're drinking, did you have a fave that you drank there? If you had to just pick one as what?
I think that Vienna lager from Burnt City was really good. That was it was good.
Okay.
I wouldn't say really good, but it was good. Man, storm rolled in. Nice. Did you make it anywhere, or you were down south, far south?
What is it?
Dirty
dry November's over, right?
Dry January?
Jesus, dry January's over. So the only thing I went to was the Cider Summit, man. The 11th annual Cider Summit. Yeah. So this was at Navy Pier. This is the exact same party every time. Now I'm doing the same thing Brad just did. I'm saying how, yeah, man, I went to this party. It's the exact same party as last year. And I don't know if I'm mad at that though. It's fine. It's at Navy Pier. I was telling Brad, when you go to this thing, there's a ton of couples there. It's full house. I would say it skews more towards, I'd say half and half. Half dudes, half women. Spirits are upstairs and cider's downstairs. I thought Cider Summit was a week-long event, Cider Con, and at the end of it. But then these guys, the Cider Somms, they're from Evergreen Park. They were saying the conference part is not every year.
Oh.
It's every other year. And it rotates cities. So the one we saw in Chicago last year, it happened to be Chicago that year. And then it skips a year, and then next year it won't be in Chicago, it'll be in another.
So there was no conference.
There was no conference this year, which probably explains why I think there might have been less vendors upstairs, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Cider Summit's a good hang. It's really the only time I go to Navy Pier. It's in the middle of the winter.
It's the only time you drink cider.
It's the only time I drink cider, right? Unless I'm at Ayers. It was cool. They had a long pour competition. Now the first 2 or 3 rounds of this was at Ayers the night before.
Okay.
So this was the finals. So I mean, it was kind of a bit underwhelming. They had 3 contestants. They picked a winner, and it was over. But they kind of made a big deal of it all day. And then when you got to it, the actual pouring part was maybe like a few minutes.
Do you think you could have done better?
There was a lot of spillage on the stage. So, I mean, I don't think I would have done worse. I was expecting a little more, razzle dazzle. Maybe a little more
behind the head.
You know what I mean? Maybe some no look action. Like I'm pointing to the crowd and then I'm hitting you over.
Pour with your foot, like handstand style.
Over the back between the legs. I was expecting something like that.
Yeah.
But these were all just straightforward pours. So I was like, well, that's fine. I'll probably post videos so you can see. I got all 3 of them.
Okay.
It was cool. I think. But it was my favorites last year were my same favorites this year. Two Fools has this Pommeau, which is like this cider wine. It's like 19%. This crew from Normandy called Romilly, this family farm that's like 1,000 years old. Normandy they drink cider, and they don't drink wine. They drink cider morning, evening, night. That's kind of their thing.
Okay.
All these varieties of cider. And when you go to them, they make a big presentation of it. You know how most people might tell you a few things about their farm and pour you some cider. These guys are like, give us 3 tickets, we'll pour you everything we got. And then they go through a spiel.
And we'll tell you the history of this apple you're consuming.
None of this, unless you're recording it, you're remembering none of this. There's a sweet.
Give me more cider.
There's a sweet, there's a tart, there's a dry. Yeah. So, but those are the crews I liked last year, So yeah, that's a quick and dirty.
Was Virtue there?
Virtue was there.
Okay.
Virtue was there. They were right next to Romilly, Cider.
They're now independently owned again. Virtue.
I thought they were bought by Goose.
They bought it back. Greg Hall.
Oh, really?
Bought it back from Goose for pennies on the dollar.
Well, hot damn. Look at that. I did not know that.
He got paid and he bought it back.
Yeah.
Cheaper than what he sold it for.
And then the rumor is that he was a consultant with Goose. He had a non-compete clause, so he started Virtue, but then he was also consulting recipes for Goose.
Right.
That time, and it's probably on their best interest to do that, because if you're the brewmaster at Goose Island and you leave Goose Island, logically you would just start another brewery. So, but yeah, good for him. Greg Hall's in his overall and beard stage heavy.
Oh, okay.
Massive gray beard overalls every time. Yeah.
True farmer life.
At the Goose closing, Clybourne, at the Sox game, every time you see him, he's got these fucking overalls on.
Okay.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, Benny's brought a 7-year-old apple brandy.
Oh, okay.
So that was nice. They say it was from St. George's. They say that's the oldest distillery in the country, which was pretty interesting. And then they also just randomly brought like a rye whiskey. I'm just like, I'll take the rye whiskey.
Like, yeah, people might be out of apples.
Maybe over this apple thing. Misbehaving Me's was upstairs. The line was too long. I didn't do them. The good folks at Brown Foreman were upstairs. So Brown Foreman is Woodford Reserve, Jack Daniels, Old Forester.
Okay.
But apparently they also own Diplomatico rum, and they were making rum old fashions, apple rum old fashions.
Oh, that sounds
with
interesting.
like fresh candy cane. I mean, not candy cane, the sugar cane.
Oh.
So that was probably the best one single thing I had
I
there.
don't think
Was
I
that?
ever thought about having a rum old fashioned.
It was a party.
It was good.
It was party, man. It was tasty. This was the first, because when we got there, I'm like, you know what? We always wait and go upstairs. Let's go upstairs first.
Okay.
Let's get right. let's get loose and then go down and drink some cider.
I'm gonna be in Puerto Rico this coming weekend. Maybe I look for the rum old fashioned.
I'll hook you up, man. I think it'd be fun. You know. So
Inside a coconut.
they're gonna be like, you need to leave. I mean, it's a good hang. Aside from, paying for parking at fucking Navy Pier, once you get in there, it's the same party as last year, but it's a fun party. So I'm not mad at it. So cheers to them. They get you out the house.
Yeah.
Then you can go to West Lou for eats.
Okay.
It all worked out.
Fair enough. Cool. Anything else?
Man, that's all I did, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. I think I'm gonna have a slow week because I will be out of town. So I don't know. I just gotta get episodes posted. So
Yeah.
People are wondering what's happening.
I'm gonna try to go to something, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to go to something.
Well, Best Friends turn 11 is the following weekend, right?
Yeah, the 17th,
17th.
6 p.m.
Because you got Super Bowl weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, where do you think you're gonna go? What would you? What does your heart say?
I think Sunday I'm gonna maybe be in the South Burbs Sunday.
Okay.
So that's my best bet of going somewhere. So maybe it's some One Trick Pony, maybe Three Floyds if they're open. Yeah, somewhere out south. So up in the air. Need to figure it out.
I vote Flossmoor Station.
Oh, Flossmoor Station.
See if they still exist.
See if the beer's any good.
Right.
They might just not care anymore. You don't see them in the store, do you? I mean, then
I
again,
don't think you ever saw him for like a minute there where Brian Shimko was, he had Killer Kapowski.
I was gonna say their one-off kind of special stuff might have made it to the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can picture the logo, but I haven't been there forever, so that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
The old Flossmoor Station.
But that might just be you go in and try one at the bar and move on, because I don't think you need to eat there.
No, that's middling, I think is the term. I had this old lady say that once. I was at this like seafood opening, and she's like, "This place, darling, is middling at best." I was like, "Oh shit!"
Like just, I never heard you just mid, but
No, she's like middling, darling, and they shit me with the darling.
what's middling? I know what mid is.
I would
but-
assume they're similar,
Right.
Like this place is neither great or bad. It's just somewhere hanging out in the middle.
Hanging out in the middle.
Indifferent. Yeah, she's indifferent about it. That's what I took from it. Yeah.
That is Flossmoor Station's food to a T, right?
Yeah. It's just a family style suburban.
Applebee's
Joint.
with beer.
Is Applebee's the joint that's got the Jack Daniels barbecue sauce?
That might be TGI Fridays.
Oh, so I'm saying, 'cause
That's
big.
also the same thing.
As you know, I might get some boneless Jack Daniels barbecue wings.
Yeah. Well, any other events or anything you've seen?
No, Dark Lord pre-sale is February 17th. So
Same day as
Same day as the what you call
Friends.
it? Yeah, I did see that. I think that's the only thing I saw. Triple Barrel Catch Hell came out from Half Acre.
Okay.
So I think that's the cinnamon one. That's the barrel aged out with cinnamon and
Interesting.
yeah, people are going nuts over it like it's the greatest Half Acre beer of all time and this kind of shit.
You didn't get it?
No. I still got Benthic. I still got the whole enchilada from Benthic. I'm like, I'm not getting any more beer, man. I mean, I would trade some of these Benthics for one, though. But they do deserve credit because they announced it that week. The Ozonars that Wednesday, and then Wednesday night you can pick up your beer and drink it on tap.
Oh shit. Okay.
So they really cater to people who can get to Half Acre
Right.
with that kind of play. I do appreciate that.
That's nice.
So, but no, I haven't tried it yet. So,
And then we're a month to St. Patrick's Day.
oh shit, March Madness.
And this is it. Spring's here. We just had a spring shower and the rain just happened. So, winter's over. We're on to IPAs and drinking on the beach.
Bring it on. Bring all of that on.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna keep things short here and get out of here. See you on the next one. Take care.
Cheers.